and welcome to Music on the Rocks. My name is Jeff Brown. You'll know by now I'm a singer-songwriter living here in Linden, Virginia. And today, I can't say that he's my first guest performer, but he's my first here. This is Woody.
Hello, everybody.
And fear not, we've both been vaccinated, so all is well. Because this couch ain't big enough for 6 feet.
Yeah, that's true.
But Music on the Rocks has been going for almost 2 years now, which is way longer than I had any right to expect it to go on, and yet here we are. But I'm excited to be joined by another musician today, and we're going to do what we can. And we're also going to be sampling this delightful virgin bottle of the Weller Special Reserve, which was picked up on a trip to the Buffalo Trace Distillery, courtesy of this gentleman right here.
It was a good time, too.
It was a good time indeed. So much so that I think we're going to have to make it a regular thing.
I think we got a guys trip planned out for the foreseeable future.
Excellent. It's been a while since I've been on a guys trip. That wasn't a band outing that just happened to have a lot of guys in it.
Just by default, right?
Neither here nor there. But today we will be sampling the Weller Special Reserve and playing a song near and dear to the hearts of both of us.
Yes, it is.
By a band near and dear to the hearts of both of us called Alice in Chains. Funny story. I was mistaken for Jerry Cantrell once when both of us were much younger and my hair was straight and blonde and down to my belt.
Wow.
It was on a trip from... I was going to school in Chicago and my parents lived in California. And for some reason the best way that the airplane powers that be decided was to send me through Seattle. So I had my acoustic guitar, I had my little pageboy cap, and I had my hair flowing down my back. And I flew from Chicago to Seattle, and I was, you know, hanging out in the airport with my guitar, waiting for my flight to see my folks. And I had noticed on the plane that there was a handful of girls looking, and I was probably having one of my very rare I feel great about myself days. So I was like, yeah, what's up? It's like, girls are looking at me. And when we got to Seattle, one of them comes up and says, I'm a really big fan of yours. And I was like, well, thank you, that's really sweet. She says, do you mind if my friends say hi? I'm like, oh, of course I don't mind. And they walk over and says, you guys, it's Jerry Cantrell. I was like, no, I'm not.
Probably a moment you've been waiting for your whole life as a performer, and it's, well, you take what you can get, right?
Fair, but I mean, it's just, every time I tell that story, people are like, why didn't you play it up? It's like, because I'm a terrible liar, that's why. gift of self-restraint. My eye, proud to see his face, and still I find, repeating in my head, if I can be my own, I'll be better dead.
Not too bad for a couple amateurs.
I know, right? That was Nutshell by Alice in Chains, also by Jeff and Woody, as interpreted, more or less,
Yes.
loosely-ish, by Jeff and Woody.
Right. It's all Jeff. I just followed him.
Well, it's a group effort.
Yeah. I mean, not bad for a bass player, I think.
There you go. A couple of bass players that also play guitar. A couple of guitar players that also play bass. I don't know. A couple of guys sitting on a futon in the studio and making some music and drinking some whiskey.
It's living the life as far as I'm concerned.
Indeed, sir. But my friends, this is Music on the Rocks. And now that the music has completed, it is time to get to the whiskey. And sir, looks like your ice cube has gone the way of ice cubes. But here we have the Weller Special Reserve, obtained from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. It is the original wheated bourbon.
Yes, sir.
Because that does make sense, since they were making whiskey during Prohibition for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, of course. You know, there's always a way around things, right?
Indeed.
So,
but my friends, be well, be safe. Woody?
the friendship, man.
Agreed. Cheers, my friends. It's got a lot of oak in there, as far as the nose goes.
It's just really smooth. I love Weller.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. So when we had our trip to the lodge, there was a bottle of Weller in the cabinet, and I was not as much of a fan of that. This feels different. This hits a little different. It's still got it's got that kind of leathery,
Yes,
sort of a rough mid palate.
definitely. I think the difference is that when we were there, we had so much. We weren't inebriated at this point,
No,
but
some
we
of
had,
us may have been. I don't.
we had Colonel Taylor's small batch.
EH Taylor
That
was
was
so good.
probably my favorite of the trip.
Oh, same.
But I mean, we had that same day had done a barrel tasting.
Yeah, there was 4 barrels,
Yeah,
and those are getting pulled out at 138, 140 proof.
yeah, that was some strong stuff.
Yeah.
I think we got a good one out of it though.
Oh, I agree. That was a B, I think.
Yeah, it was B.
B barrel was solid.
Well, we picked it because musically speaking, it had 333 on it, which was half evil, so yeah, it worked.
Just half.
Yeah. Iron Maiden would be proud.
Agreed. And then we had the Eagle Rare 10.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff
That
too.
was a bit that was a bit aggressive on the front. I did that in an episode a couple weeks ago.
And then we, after you had retired for the evening, Bill and I put a pretty good dent in just the normal Buffalo Trace.
I believe that.
it was good whiskey too.
I mean, I saw a lot of dead soldiers on my way out the next morning.
Well, that wasn't all us.
That's fair. But my friends, I will see you again next week with Music on the Rocks. Thank you to Woody for joining me and for everything that he's done for the last 100 some odd episodes. Because you're in there a couple times, believe me, sir.
Yes, sir. I'd love to support you, and it's a pleasure being on. Cheers, everybody.
Pleasure having you. Cheers, sir.
Yeah, brother.